We are 3,000 years in the past, and right now, this is at the point to where the previous Giant King, the previous Fairy King, was working together with Elizabeth and Meliodas to take down the Demon Clan. For instance, Meliodas' betrayal. Now, what's very interesting is that we get to see a previous 10 commandment in this chapter, which has an ability, or a commandment, that has an ability very similar to another 10 commandment, Zeldris. And this ability is called Betrayal. Now, it's named differently, but at the same time, though, the concept is relatively the same. If you run away from this man, you will be turned to fight for their cause. It's very similar to how Zeldris' was. So, when you look at it like that, the name may have changed, but it seems like the ability passed on to Zeldris. So, the design is pretty cool. I like how, the commandments do pass on to new ones eventually, and just maybe the names might change a little bit. Now, at this time, though, what this chapter is trying to set up is to show us that Diane and King, since they are in the bodies of the previous Giant King and the Fairy King, they're being able to access their powers, like their abilities, or, how strong their bodies are. For instance, Diane took a huge hit, and she was completely fine, thanks to Balor's body. So this proves that this is some form of, image training. I don't really understand the complete concept of exactly how this is going to make them stronger, because, it's kind of like giving a novice it cheats, like giving them hacks or whatever, giving them the in-game gear, and just, they do really good, but they really don't know how to use those techniques to the fullest. That's kind of what it looks like to me. It's like, the previous Fairy King, the previous Giant King, are helping out Diane and King, and giving them all the power they need. And I don't know exactly what they're trying to do there. Most likely it will be revealed, but at the time, though, I feel like the main purpose of what is happening here is more for information. It's for training, yes, but also I feel like it's actually just information. To see why Balor and the previous Fairy King decided to change their allegiance from their normal cause and work for the Demon Clan, where they're showing exactly why they did that and why now they're completely fine. And so I can't wait to see exactly how those events unfolded and what probably led to it. But assuming exactly what they're up against, you gotta realize that they're up against a commandment that's called, a commandment that has betrayal or whatever. If you run away, that would mean that you will join their cause. So it's only making me assume that maybe the previous Fairy King and also the previous Giant King had to run for some reason, and it caused them to join the Demon Clan's ranks. That's what I'm assuming is going on here, and thanks to probably Zeldris dying, because that was a potential possibility after what Escanor did, it probably freed, the previous Fairy King, the previous Giant King, from the actual grip of that commandment. As we know, the person that has the commandment needs to die. One of the 10 commandments need to die, or you need to die to disable its effect. So that's the only thing I'm assuming right now. That's the only thing I'm assuming as to why, they're probably fine right now, why they're able to help them out. I'm assuming that's the information we're kind of trying to gather from the chapter. So, yeah, the chapter overall, it was a good chapter, it was, but, it kind of felt like a chapter that was just trying to get straight to the point. There was no in-between. It was just getting to point A to point B, letting us know kind of what happened in the past, with a little bit of, reveals to the demons, just doing an all-out assault against a settlement, and just taking them down. So, yeah, it was a cool chapter. Artwork looked pretty damn good for the most part. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How'd you all feel about this week's chapter of Taizai? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Please let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.